and then make use of the resources that we have.
Yeah.
And so if you're patriotic, you're honest and disciplined, it also means that if you're giving, for example, as a civil servant or a public servant, resources, you use it judiciously and all that. You'll be on time, you'll be more accountable.
Yeah.
And I think that people seem to be going along with that refrain or rhetoric that he seemed to be espousing. I think that's a good thing.
My only worry, I feel like when they all suddenly make up their minds that they want to become president, that's when we hear the fine ideas and how they intend to govern, etc. I mean, he did say that he had tried to, advise some colleagues of his, and they didn't really take it. And even when you asked him about advising, I think the president, he was like, me? In what capacity, sort of? Like, so that means that the people at the top do not listen.
Yeah.
He may have fine ideas, but do they suddenly forget it when they get the nod to lead the country? Because what didn't President Akufo-Addo say when he was in opposition? We had some of the finest ideas. We expected that it will be implemented so that today we will not be complaining about why we had to go back to the IMF, why we have not reshuffled ministers for a long time, at least majority of them, and why we have this economic crisis. He clearly isn't listening to anybody. So would you also now become what we call amaga at the top and not listen to anyone and really just tell us, okay, I'll do this and that, and when you come into power, you won't do that? So we keep hearing all these
I think what is
promises.
elusive for the Ghanaian voter or the population is that issue of trust. If I give you the nod, would you do what you say you do? If, for example, I haven't seen you do it that way before. And I think now the onus lies on the political figures who want to lead this country in the next election, who haven't been seen before, to convince us, the voters, that what they say they will do, they will be in a position to implement them. You know, and I think he has some fine ideas.
I think so too.
The issue about agriculture.
I love that.
Because when you go to the Middle East, you find that even in the desert, they are able to do a lot of irrigation. They have great arable land, not by nature, but they themselves just putting it together. And I think Kenny Agyapong is somebody who has to be watched. If only the delegates would have to open their minds and open their heart to say that we want to receive what he intends saying. Because he seemed to be bringing to bear what he has experienced as an entrepreneur to the governance circles. And I think it's very positive.
Just vote wisely. That's what I'd say to everyone.
Yeah.
Just vote wisely.
Vote wisely, vote Kenny Agyapong.
Are you campaigning for him this morning?
In the primaries.
Are you campaigning for him?
Why not?
You seem to be convinced after yesterday's conversation. You are? You don't want to wait to speak to the other contenders if there's a possibility. I mean, there's GTP.
Well, maybe Alan,
yes.
and then Dr. Bawumia too. He has to come and convene. Because if Dr. Bawumia comes, we'll play back his videos.
Oh, yeah, of course. And the Greek minister. Don't you want to hear from him as well? Maybe he might have some fine ideas.
Yeah, why not?
On how to turn...
He's been here before, right?
Yeah. When he was asked whether he wants to be president, and he says, as far as he's concerned, he hasn't put out any statement.
Oh, yes.
Then weeks later...
But the rumors were still rife then.
There were already billboards all over the country. I mean, I saw some myself. It's not like we didn't see
Those were greeting billboards. Well, let's take you through what we have this morning. So, for this morning's segment, where we tend to be more interactive with you, we're asking the question, should Ghana join in deploying troops as part of the ECOWAS standby force to Niger? Should we be doing that? Because already we know that the Defense and Interior Committee, they had an interaction. They've come to the conclusion that Ghana is going based on what the executive, of course, led by the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. So the Ghanaian troops, as we know, unless some force majeure seem to come up the next few days, they will be going to Niger. So please join us in the conversation. Now, we'll bring you Johnny's Bite, of course, and then we'll have some great discussions. Today is a ladies' edition. And of course, we have some great, intelligent, and beautiful ladies. Laura, too, will be here. And then Nanaya Chempim Jantwa, Gabriela Tete as well. So make sure you join us. Kenny Agyapong backs the deployment of troops to Niger. 90% Nigerians happy about the current coup and their leaders. So we have to take a look. And then 10% tax on betting. Would it deter the youth from betting at all? If you're on the streets, and I have to say on the street doesn't mean that we have destitute people, no. if you go to speak to ordinary Ghanaians, they'll tell you that a 10% tax is not popular. So we'll take a look at that. And now we're going to a destination in Africa today. So, you know, we're exploring the traditional Namibian cuisine with Helen Appiah-Mpofo. And Oliver, what's that?
Worms. Caterpillar.
Oh, those are, is it cocoons or something like that?
That's caterpillar.
Caterpillar, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, you know.
They eat that?
Yeah.
Will we get some to eat today? To try at least while we're talking about this. It won't be bad, right?
Oliver, are they called caterpillars or cocoons? Or which of them?
I don't know, one of them.
Oliver and Yusa will put that into together. All right, so you know.
Yeah.
Should we call them worms? Or
I've actually seen them frying worms before. And I thought that was quite scary.
And you know
too.
the artist who sang Hey Alaji. Hey, Hey Alaji. So we're looking at the life and music journey into the limelight, and that's Jeff.
Bogolobango.
Bogolobango.
Wow.
Okay, Bogolobango. All right. Hey, Alaji.
Can we play that
Charlie,
music?
do we have a
Hey, no, right?
Alaji. We're going for a break. Hey, Alaji. Hey, Alaji. We're going for a break. When we come back, we have This Morning for you.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter. In Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers. Simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
They came, they saw, and are set to conquer. Ghana's Strongest 2023 is at an end, and 4 men will compete for the title in the grand finale. Who wins this year's Ghana's Strongest? Will it be Godfred Akobila with 7 appearances, Bright Appiah the SWAT man, Takrada's finest Ebenezer Amos, or the new man Jeffrey Ekufu? Don't miss this epic finale live on TV3 at the Obra Sports on Sunday, 20th August at 2 p.m. Ghana's Strongest, the power to do.
Catch Ghana's Strongest this Sunday only on TV3. Ghana's Strongest is powered by Gasem, the nation builder. Brought to you by Mixi Choco, Channel Hot,
Deluxy acrylic paint,
Drugnet.
This water pouring on you from the rooftop signifies that in this life rain shall fall on you, but nothing shall happen.
It's a week of fashion and glam on Ghana's Most Beautiful. This week, our beautiful contestants will grace the runway, showcasing exquisite outfits crafted by talented designers and featuring the latest collections from GTP. Get ready to be dazzled as they bring elegance, charm, and a touch of Ghanaian culture to the fashion world. It's a night of style, sophistication, and celebration, where fashion meets tradition and a breathtaking display of creativity and beauty. Exclusively on TV3 at 8 p.m. this Sunday. It's an eviction week and not less than 2 contestants will be evicted. To save your contestant from eviction, vote by dialing *713*13# or download the TV3 reality app to vote. GMB 2023. Ghana's beauty, Africa's pride.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Common 20 Series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soup, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk, Deluxe Acrylic Paint, Nescofa Blood Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods, Freedom from Casapreco,
Frutelli Calipo,
Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubuna Womwankasa, Dragnet, Shalatem, Top Choco, Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
Hey! What do you do with some cool $2,000? Okay. Here to Win game show is exactly what you need. The only game show where you are already rich before you begin to pay. Every week, 2 lucky people stand the chance of winning money. All you have to do is go through some quizzes and fun games. Somebody from Peru is called Perusian. Whatever you say, you have to be proud because your family people are watching you. Somebody from Madagascar is called Malagasy. Correct!
Okay, let's go.
It's you that will tell me let's go. You are not even winning. Okay?
Hold the stand and jump to basket.
Amazing.
Jump, go.
Ayikwe Ama. Be proud. Okay. First of all, is Ayikwe supposed to be a man or a woman? Put it on your forehead. Ayikwe. Be a part of this game show right here on TV3 and take home some cash. Come join us on Here to Win game show where you win it all. Hey, yeah, mama. Hey, mama. Hey, yeah, mama. Hey, mama. Here to Win.
Here to Win shows Saturdays at 8 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Kill It Insecticide Spray.
The age-old rivalry that senior high schools engage in is still present within alumni. The battle for bragging rights to a particular endeavor remains even after school. If your school can cook, it means your school is here. If your school can boast of good culinary masterminds, this right here is the perfect platform to showcase that skill set. Alumni have met and they have chosen representatives to take up the task of preparing extraordinary dishes to bring victory to their respective schools.
Tell me what you're cooking.
Week in, week out, these schools will mount these workstations in a bid to buy your nutritional affinity to them. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare your taste buds and fasten your aprons. These culinary experts are set to battle for the enviable crown of being tagged Lords of the Kitchen. This is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2, Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
Enapa Foods. Say Enapa. Enye Ono Soko.
PGL.
We're actually enjoying the song.
Yeah,
I know.
Oliver decided.
Oliver and Coco.
Allow it to play.
Oliver and
Coco.
Brenda.
We don't
Brenda.
like that.
Brenda.
And Brenda.
So Oliver is our lead producer.
Oh, so we should say
and then,
Brenda
yeah,
instead of
our
Coco.
lead,
Coco.
Oh, Coco is fine.
Coco.
Our lead director is Coco. Brenda Coco.
If you take the
Dugan.
KK out.
Dugan. Shandov Dugan.
Yeah.
So the Akokun, that is the
Akokuno.
the caterpillar.
Yeah.
Please bring the
picture back.
the food from Namibia. I'm
told
you said
I like the way they've garnished it to make it look like
But you see, from afar it looks like beef, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, from afar it looks like beef, but
so Daniel
Caterpillar.
Daniel works with the other division of the Just Born Group. He's been stationed in Zambia before, so around East Africa. He's eaten it before. He says, Charlie,
it's nice.
It's nice.
Fantastic.
What does it taste like? Like they should let us
Daniel,
know.
how does it taste like?
Like chips.
Tell us before we show the destination Africa. Looking at how the diets of the Namibians include.
So the way it's a cuisine, is it like there's a, you know how we pick snails in Ghana? You can go to the forest and you can pick them. Is it the same thing?
Oh, it's the same thing. They rear them? Or they just pick them from the forest?
Well, snails are also reared in Ghana now. I mean, you can pick from the forest, you can also rear. So I don't know about this one. Anyway,
caterpillar.
Maybe when we get to watch, we will understand.
Some good friends of mine say I should say good morning to you.
Oh, hi, good morning. Have they missed
you? Yesterday we saw Guy G.
John Pano.
You missed Guy G. You missed Guy G.
John Pano says good morning. Theophilus Adey says good morning.
Good morning. Good
Daniel's
morning.
name is Daniel Amu.
Amu.
He was in Zambia.
Okay.
Chopping.
Caterpillar. Did he eat worms as well?
Daniel, they say you chop worms, Anna.
Let us know if he ate worms as well. Worms. But anyway, let's go into this morning. At
Mr.
this
Mike
point.
Kofi Afro, good morning to you.
So, should we deploy troops in support of ECOWAS to go into Niger and restore the country back to constitutional rule? Do you think that at this point, where our economy is and what's happening in Boko and all the other factors that have arisen, do you think that it is even right for us to also deploy troops into Niger? Well, yesterday, Honorable Ken Ejipon was here. He says that, well, we have an obligation to ECOWAS, so we cannot run away from it. And that will also serve as a deterrent, because if we don't stop the coups that are happening across Africa, very soon it could get to us. And the first group of people they would arrest would be politicians, journalists, etc., and it will not inure to the benefits of the country as a whole. And so we need to deploy some men to go help restore the country back to constitutional rule. What do you think of it? Call us this morning. The numbers are on your screens, guys.
Oh, well, anyway, I'm just concerned about the food part, though, because it's been reported that a lot of onions are getting rotting in Niger because, I mean, they export to these parts of Africa. And as we speak, because the borders have been closed, it's getting rotting. And I think I was listening to the leader of the Ghanaian community in Niger, and that was his cry yesterday, that at least if they can just open the borders for these exports to come in instead of the onions just sitting there and getting rotten, it would all go well for all of us. And I mean, it's gotten super expensive here. Now it's ×3. The price, exactly, the original price that we've been buying them for. And I'm sure if it continues subsequent weeks, I don't even think we even get some to buy in the country. But yeah, that's the question we are asking this morning. We are interested in what you've got to tell us. Do we have a caller online already? Okay. Good morning, Mohammed. Welcome to TV3 New Day.
Good morning.
Yes. Let's hear you, Mohammed.
Yeah, if you look at the situation Africa we're facing now, I think we're in a critical situation. Now, consider the fact that even before one gets to Niger, there is coal in Mali. Likewise, Burkina Faso. Chad has gotten its own for a very long time, I think over a decade, and up to now there has been withstanding peaceful condition in those countries. So now consider all these factors, because even those neighboring countries themselves, I'm pretty sure they are even in support of Niger. So I think this is really something that is going to be risky. So I think let's consider the issue of rather trying to sit down with the army. I mean, let them understand the situation there is. But I mean, what might let, I mean, almost everything be in an order that like things can be in an order. Either than that, it's not going to be easy. So that is the suggestion I will bring on board.
Mohammed, thank you for your suggestion this morning. You can also call us. The number is right there on your screen. So let's know what you make of this.
And we know that the ECOWAS defense chiefs will be in Ghana today and tomorrow to finalize the plans. So the decision has been made.
Oh, today and tomorrow. They started yesterday, didn't they? It's yesterday and today.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought it was 17th, 18th.
No.
Today is 17th.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow is 18th, yeah.
So it's 17th, 18th. But I think, okay. So we have a caller. But you know, Niger is a landlocked country. So it has a lot of countries bordering it. We have Libya, Chad, and Burkina Faso, Algeria. And if you look at those territories that border it, they are not the most peaceful. Along those borders.
Even the Malians and the Burkina Faso,
Mali
of course,
too.
because of the coup there, they are saying that if we embark on that deployment to Niger, that means war. Wow. And that's scary. But Emmanuel is on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us, Daniel. Speak to us.
I don't think it would be better for Ghana to deploy some soldiers to the country.
Why?
We don't want any blame game. Russia is far away from us, and then they are blaming Russia for our economic woes. We would deploy soldiers to Niger, and then when we are done, they will tell us Ghana, Niger war. So let's just concentrate in our country and then do something for our country ourselves. If there is anything at all, they should just deploy the soldiers to protect the borders of Ghana and not entering Niger to defend anything.
But we are part of ECOWAS. And even if you listen to what some of the defense people say, Ghana is like second most important when it comes to the countries that represent the ECOWAS team. And so we all have that, obligation to protect each other's borders. And of course, we cannot sit down and allow coups to happen across Africa. If you listen to Honorable Ken yesterday, he says that if it keeps happening, it could come to us. We can't sit and wait for it to get to us.
Yes, we are part of ECOWAS, but are we doing the needed things that needs to be done in ECOWAS? ECOWAS starts with economic something. Economic
Community of West African States.
Are we concentrating on the economic side of the continent? You understand? We are not concentrating on the economic side of the continent. If you look around, all the coups that are happening, it's as a result of bad leadership. it's as a result of bad leadership. So if it's as a result of bad leadership and it is happening like that, they are going in to protect their own leaders because it's the same thing they are doing across. So I don't really think it's a good thing if they are deploying that. The Ghanaian soldiers also have families. Have we thought of what would happen when they go and then they don't come back?
Well,
so we should just think about it again. And then that, for me, I don't really think it's a good thing to deploy soldiers and then let them go. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As to whether we even have the men to deploy is also another challenge. But you see, I get what he means by the fact that the coup has occurred because of the mistakes that we have all made, you know, as a continent. And if you look at some of the African leaders who make up the ECOWAS team, you realize that some of them are even undemocratic. Look at Cote d'Ivoire. The president there decided to extend, you know, his stay in office. You know, he wanted someone to be there. The person died and he said, okay, if that's the case, then let me re-engineer the constitution and stay. Togo, Nyasingbe has been there. How did he even get into power?
After his
He
dad.
was not supposed to have been there because by the constitution, it was supposed to be another person who should be there. The military put him there, whether the people liked it or not. And now he has also extended his stay in office. So these are the same people who are now saying, let's deploy troops to Niger after a coup. How is that even possible? And bring it back to constitutional rule. But these people didn't even regard their own constitution in the first place. All right. Nkrumah.
Yes, sir.
Good morning. This is Ma, by the way. Thank you for joining us. Speak to us.
Please, I want to contribute to the program.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, please, ECOWAS. You know, Ghana, we are limited. But I want to know, when there was this Boko Haram intervention in Burkina Faso, what did we do to help them? And now there's a coup in Nigeria, we are now going to fight them. Is Burkina Faso not part of the ECOWAS state? What help has the ECOWAS given to help the Burkinabés from this Boko Haram harassment? So, in my view, I think we should rather fight for that dialogue instead of fighting the Nigerians.
We should fight for what? A dialogue. Oh, okay.
A dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dialogue.
All right. All right. You know, there have been some unsuccessful attempts to even dialogue with the Nigerian military leaders. And so if that's the case, probably why ECOWAS thinks that they have to use force to remove them from power. I'm just worried because, again, the president of the Nigerian community who spoke on Ghana Tonight yesterday says he's worried about the attacks that may be launched against other Ghanaians living within, and not just other Ghanaians, but even, you know,
just because we've sent our troops
exactly,
over there.
the people who live within the ECOWAS region or are from there. Because if we decide to launch the attack on them, they can retaliate, and that would affect those of them who live in the country. So we really need to rethink how we go about this.
Yeah, so there are sub-regional implications, but also a geopolitical implication for all this. While we're trying to legitimize this, the bigger question then should be within the bigger national interests of the country. Do we have the public opinion for the executive to take the decision to go to Niger? And I think in other countries, even though we tend to see the US president, they go through the processes and try to get everybody, the public on one hand, while they do the legislative approvals as well. So perhaps maybe we should also go that route.
Let's bite, guys. Let's bite.
It's time for Johnny's Bite.
Johnny's Bite.
You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean,